Yes, thank you so much. You're welcome to the first Diaspora Innovation Institute inauguration of one of the subcommittees that has been started. Today, we are actually starting this as part of our effort to be able to create value for the efforts being made so that we can achieve tremendous results. So today, the first group subcommittee is the Climate Change and Environmental Subgroup of the Diaspora Innovation Institute. And we think this is very important because of the importance of this booming sector. I will tell a very short story. I went for a meeting in Spain and in Madrid for that matter, and I was passing by and I saw a bank of climate. So that actually caught my attention. And he immediately said, oh, I didn't know there is a bank of climate. So actually, that's actually started how the importance of diaspora engagement has to be in climate change. COP28 was held recently, and there are a lot of things that came up. And of course, diaspora should be active in how this is implemented. So we have formed a key group of people, competent, experienced, passionate, and ready to be able to take this to the next level, engaging diaspora, engaging corporations, engaging countries in Africa for that matter, to see how they will be able to benefit from this huge, by creating structure, as a matter of fact, because structure is very, very important. Structure is very key, and this is also a way to be able to satisfy the different stakeholders in this. What I mean by that is the knowledge of climate change is still the minimal. So people need to know what is climate change, what is the new terminologies that has been created, and how valuable this can be. So without much ado, I think we have some of the members in here. I can see Dr. Beluchi Wanisobi. She's one of the associate directors as well. And she's actually has with a background of her in science, which I didn't know before. So obviously there are other key members. The co-chairs, Tariq is from the United States. And Brother Tariq, for that matter, is very experienced, a very, very intimidating bio. And also we have a good friend of mine, I call him Professor because he has a lot of knowledge, Peter as well. So without much ado, so I'm just giving a background of the committee and how this should be. So in the next few weeks, we'll be we'll be here, and it's going to be a very short, brief, inauguration, just to make it official. We need them to get to work right away. There's so much that can be done. Interestingly, as well, it's an event coming up in Madrid next month, and it's on renewable energy. So when you're talking about this, right now, there are a lot of things happening at the same time. So we have to be making history right here, to be at the center of the airport making event at the diaspora engagement. So I think we have Peter is right here, Tatawo is here, Dr. Bilush is here, I'm here, Dr. Remy is here as well as Tariq. Let me check on him. And in Nigeria will be joining. So we don't waste time on this, maybe about 15, 20 minutes event. And please, if you are not taking place, just teach yourself so that there won't be much interruption. So, like I said, it's going to be a very brief event. The most important thing is that, so after the event, you can go to work. You can have the chairman, the co-chair, we have their high-level information about how to drive this. I guess they are open to be able to pick up the application. The mandate, I will read them out. The terms of reference are very clear. We want them to join in such a way that they will be able to know, not only knowing on how to really implement. Timeline is very important to us, and we believe we'll be able to really move it from there. We have to find out why Tariq is not here. It's in a different time zone. It should be about 2 p.m. in the United States right now. So, like I said, the event is going to be very short because some people are like, it's a Saturday in Nigeria. A lot of people are in parties and enjoy themselves, you know. So, evidently, I'm madly trying to really catch up, train in the next 30 minutes. So, we will just be able to just take this and keep it moving. So, yeah, no, sure. That's that's Professor Peter. That's you in the dark. I see you working in the dark. So I guess with our flaring gas, we can have 100% energy or 24/7 power. That's a joke for the people in the environmental side. But I think the important thing is there are a lot of opportunities in this area. And without that, I will say, Professor Taiwo, I think you can take the floor and we can keep the agenda so short and simple. And when the other co-chair is here, we'll be able just to go through the agenda and start. Like I said, it's going to be very, very short. Like by the next 20 minutes, we are handling this and we can move it, can get to work. That's the most important thing. It's just like you just the normal ceremony. Again, my name is Akinwale Ojomo. I welcome you all. Thank you. Professor Peter, are you to you? Are you there? Can you hear me, Peter Taiwo? Okay, so why is trying to really get this?
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Wait, we can hear.
Can you? Right. Can you hear me? Oh shit! But now I cannot hear you.
We can hear you. Go ahead. You can put up the video. Maybe that will more capacity for the network. So we can just hear you. So later you can send your picture with your Bible in your hand, swearing into this stuff.
Hold on. Let me see if I can turn off the video. See me now?
Okay. I did not hear back from Brother Tariq, so I think we can keep that going until we are able to get him in and some other members. We have few other members. So
Okay,
Peter,
can you all hear me now? Okay, Wale, can you hear me?
yes, go ahead, sir.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble with connectivity here, but I think you can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear you now. All right, sure.
Okay, great. Just like you said, we have an opportunity here. A lot of what we're seeing now, we saw first about 12 years ago, and now they're just starting to come to the surface. So I believe we are way ahead of the curve on this thing. And in the last couple of days, we have established that there actually exists a relationship between Nigeria and Spain on this subject matter. I have gone through the documents of that relationship, and I've found it to be couched in a lot of words that is looking for us to put teeth into. In other words, our opportunity is unique if we can now bring some actualization to the letter of that agreement. And I think that with Tariq, with Akinwale, with Dr. Mecca, I don't know if Mecca is online, and a host of the other guys here, we should just introduce ourselves, talk a little bit about our background, so that we could know what specific areas of responsibility to assign to each other.
Perfect. I guess that's a very great way to start. So I guess, Professor, I guess you can start and keep the ball rolling. So we can follow suit. Thank you.
Okay. Just because we don't have a lot of time, let me just start by saying, my name is Peter Taiwo. I run a company here in Nigeria called Advance Environmental. I am the managing partner. We have been doing this for over 12 years now, trying to get Nigeria in the direction of the missed opportunity of climate change programming and the benefits that can be had, not just financially, but also socially and from a health standpoint, programming to improve people's lives, women, pregnant women, vulnerable populations who are severely impacted by not just climate change, but also by particulate matter exposure, especially that which comes from diesel fuel. A lot of our young people have asthma that it's not found in their genetic stream. It is acquired because of the high level of particulate matter, soot, and ash from wood burning, from diesel burning, and all of that. A lot of our women, when they're pregnant, don't get enough oxygen. The fetuses don't develop like they're supposed to because of the high particulate matter content in the air they breathe. A lot of our elderly and vulnerable populations dying quicker than they're supposed to because the air is contaminated. So the benefits to what we are doing cuts across every boundary out there, economic, financial, social. So we have an obligation, and dare I say moral obligation, to get this thing going, because we never know whose life we're going to touch. So having said that, that's the focus of what ADMAC does, to help to understand particularly the contribution of internal combustion engines to this climate debacle in sub-Saharan West Africa. That's who I am. Wow.
Yes, thank you so much, Professor, for that. That's a very short introduction of you. And I think you are changing yourself by not letting us know, aside from the number of years of experience that you have put into this, but you have done this in Nigeria as well. I think it's over a decade. And you have literally like brought an equipment from the United States into Nigeria to do that when we met via the Diaspora Institute. But thank you again for that. Okay, so we're looking forward to your esteemed wealth of knowledge. And of course, we'll see you guys in Madrid. So next one, we have the co. Okay, so I can see Miss Anita is here. So Dr. Bellucci, can you please give us a quick introduction of yourself? Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, I think we can hear you. Dr. Bellucci, can you give us an introduction of yourself? Let's know if you are available. If not, Ms. Anita, just quick introduction as well. So whichever one, whoever is ready, can go ahead. Okay, so I can see Dr. Emeka right here. So, Dr. Emeka,
Hello.
if you are here now and you're able to speak, can you go ahead and introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm able to speak. Yeah. Just a moment, please.
What's a quick introduction, if you to know more about you, and so I will be able to keep the agenda going and short and sharp. Yep.
Hello.
Just an introduction of your name and experiences in this zone, and what you think are the possibilities. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, can hear you.
I just joined. I'm sorry I'm late. My name is Dr. Meka Opara. I live in England, London, and I'm a medical practitioner primarily, and an environmentalist because I did study environmental management and I have interest in the ecosystems of the world. And I've been working in different levels with companies involved in renewable energy, basically, and how we can, whatever we can do to maintain our ecosystem and then reduce carbon emissions and you know, just to establish a carbon footprint, really. So I'm interested in being part of this wonderful group. Are you still there? Hello? Hello? Okay, yeah.
I can hear you, yes. Just need to mute so that there won't be much interaction here.
Prince, may I just add here that Dr. Meka and I have worked with respect to particulate matter emissions that I referenced earlier, and its preponderance of health implications across the board for populations in sub-Saharan Africa. I think that would be a major focus of what we're talking about here, and how we combine the science and the medicine, the CSR and the money to forge an outcome that is a win-win for all. So I think Dr. Meka will be very crucial to this conversation from the health point of view that focuses on the impact of particulate matter emissions, populations across the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Yes, thank you, Prof. I call him Prof, and it's a Prof as well. So
exactly.
Okay, thank you so much, Emeka. Thank you. We really appreciate you, and of course, it's really amazing because this is going to be a combination of a lot of things in putting medicine together, putting banking together, and that's just make it robust because environment or climate change is affecting every sector of the economy.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
that's why when I saw Bank of Climate in Madrid, I'm like, okay, there's going to be a new bank here, so we need to have a branch somewhere. So
exactly.
thank you so much for those comments and brilliant introduction. So Ms. Anita and Dr. Bellucci, can you please introduce yourself so that we can keep going with the agenda, please?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Can you hear me over there? Good evening.
Yes,
We can hear you, but I cannot see you yet.
Yeah, we can
Oh,
see
you can
that.
see me.
See your predecessor.
Okay. I live in Abuja and I work with the government. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I can't. Okay. I work with the government. I have avid interest in climate change. Following the interaction I've had in the past and part of my studies has to do with environmental protection. I have been following up on SDGs provision regarding climate change. I think it's goal 13, if I'm right. The expert should be able to tell us all the SDG provision of climate change is. So I think that goal specifically specifies 3 key areas of concern regarding environment. And I would love to see us look into all those protecting the environment besides talking about what we need to do. We also need to look at how we in Nigeria, how the activities of several activities of things that we do affect our environment, where it has to do with managing proliferation of plastic products all over the place. How do we curtail that? How do we ensure that people stop burning things all around the place to protect the ozone layer? We talk about global warming. How can we, bring the studies and the things that have the developments we've had so far in the global sector to Nigeria to help us to manage proliferation of things that we shouldn't be doing. In so many countries now, they are banning single-use plastic, single-use utensils and bags. But in Nigeria, we are multiplying them. Even bagging water in sachets, plastic sachets that we know that is unlikely going to be easy to decompose. I'm really interested in those areas, and I hope that my participation in this group will help to further the action within that and beyond. Thank you. My name is Bellucci, Dr. Bellucci Wanisibi. I don't know if I say that at the beginning. Akili is laughing at me.
Yes, and it's good that you let people know your name. And of course, you didn't tell us that you had botany rather, as your first degree, which I didn't know
Yes,
before.
I actually did it for 2 first degrees. I did botany and then in the management sector and the telecommunication industry. And even where I am now, we're always having concerns because of the nature of the environment of Nigeria, where we site base stations. People get aggravated, they get worried about the environment, about having all those things living within where they should be. So how do we curtail those? Because I know in more advanced societies, they don't have all those big base stations all over the place. But in Nigeria, that's what we've been left with, and there's nothing we can do about that for now. So how do we curtail the effect of having those big massive towers that scare people around the environment that we live? How do we key into the studies and the advances that have been made in regarding climate action in the world? Thank you.
Thank you too, Bellucci. Thank you so much for, and I think one other thing which in the course of your deliberation, which I will throw out there is knowledge. Knowledge management of climate change, because a lot of new knowledge is coming up. And of course, the documentation will also be very value that this
That's correct.
have, in terms of the theory about it, some of there are a lot of theories around it, right? And at the same time, the concept, the new keywords. So those are the
Okay.
things that the committee
Yeah.
should get to do. So, all right, thank you, ma'am. So now, Ms. Anita, Chief Anita, Nana Okuribido, please, can you just quickly introduce yourself so that we can just move this agenda forward? Thank you, Ms. Anita.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm so elated to be here on this forum. Prince Ojomo, you're a special person because you have these great men and women around you, that they have spoken so well about the climate action, climate change, the mitigation against climate change. I am Chief Mrs. Anita Nana Okuribido, the president of Women in Renewable Energy Association in Nigeria. And I'm also the founder, CEO of the Smiling Simon Greenfield Foundation that actually established the first in Africa Women Green Energy Institute. And we are actually interested or poised towards empowering women youth, to learn more about being green, going green, and being energy efficient, and using particularly green devices for agricultural development. But I'm so much interested with what Dr. Bellucci has just discussed now, because I'm doing a project with my South African partners on using what you call electrolysis to produce water, and people come and buy the water with big containers instead of the small plastic sachet and plastic containers, and it will reduce the plastic waste we have around us. So I would like to work with you, Dr. Bellucci. In fact, if Prince Ojomo doesn't mind, I would like to have you on board this initiative, so that we will work together, and very soon maybe by God's grace, we'll go to South Africa together to work with my South African partner, so that we can bring them to Nigeria to have the electrolysis, and we can put it in all the big supermarkets. So people will come with big containers, like from 5 liters and above, to just fetch the water for a little fee, because a lot of people cannot afford the dispenser right now. Dispensers are about 120,000 naira. How many people can afford it in Nigeria? And start using the Seaway dispensers and all that. So they go for the sachet, but if they know they can go with 5 liters, 10 liters, 20 liters, 25 liters, of plastic, and go and fetch water for a fee, instead of buying the bottled water and littering the bottles and the sachet everywhere. It's comfortable for everybody, and it's a win-win thing for us all. And moreover, as the president of the Women in Renewable Energy Association, we have an initiative which we believe in Nigeria, if we do it in all the 774 local governments of Nigeria, we would be mitigating climate change through the children, and we'll be catching them young in their schools, which is called One Nigerian Child, One Solar Reading Lamp. So I want us to look into light up Nigeria by working with the children in schools. And it's a big project, but if we have our diasporans who are interested to really upgrade their own local governments by working with the children, 1,000 children in a local government, give them solar lamps, 1,000 of them, and let them know about going green instead of using kerosene lamps or fossil fuels to generate electricity that would destroy their lungs. you know, we now give them solar lamps. It will go a long way so that the African children, particularly Nigerian children, will not think that Nigeria is only about darkness. Because Nigerian children now, they only know darkness because NEPA doesn't bring electricity to them at all, particularly in the rural areas. So let us light up the lives of these, our children. That is what we are about. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chief. Thank you, and we commend you about the work you are doing. I'm looking forward to tap into your experience and wealth of partnership as well to move this into a bigger, realistic, tangible project, which is very important to us at the Diaspora Institute. So, without much ado, I am here to receive or hear from Tariq. Tariq is in Houston. He's the Chief Strategy Officer for Agri-Leisure. The focus on energy, food, and water. So I think without much ado, I've shared the agenda on how it's going to run. Like I said, it's going to be very short and simple. So I know, Remy, you're not supposed to be in this meeting, but I mean, were you going to introduce yourself as well? Because I'm not sure, because you're doing a lot of work at the Institute, you know, you're hosting the monthly meeting for since inception. So really commend you for that. So you want to just do a quick introduction, or if you're available. Okay, I think just open the meeting and just if you come in, just let us know. So without much ado, I think the next item on the agenda, I can put it right there, is the terms of reference. Sorry, terms of reference are missing. So happen quickly. So terms of reference, so what are the things that the subcommittee need to look at? Number one is actually the knowledge of the climate change. To identify a couple of the knowledge, the research of what has been done so far. And of course, to be looking at the action plans, you know, like Chief mentioned something so simple as a child planting a tree on their birthday. I think that's so profound. It's an incremental. If you do it, so because the beauty of about for children is they will be able to take care of that tree, right? Like an adult who is traveling, is busy. But a child in school, in high school, in primary school, will be conscious about making sure that the tree does not die. So I think that's a kind of incremental progress. Imagine that being done in every high school in the state, in Nigeria, and even across Africa as well. So that would be huge. Then, of course, at the end of the day, we should talk about some of the medium size action as well, and connecting with corporations who actually have a department in doing things. And some of the departments at of this corporation, I recall, I'm going to bring this example, and I think Peter is going to laugh. I remember Access Bank. Yes, yeah. About 10 years ago, we were talking about sustainability, about this same gospel of climate change. And I think it is now mandatory, it is when, rather, central bank came in, that each department should be able to have a sustainability department that they are taking this so serious. So actually, people saw this coming in, and of course, it's important as well to be able to write that story. So then, of course, long-term project, long-term ideas, we need to be raised by the committee as well, and even structure, of course, structure of how the committee will run, the subcommittee in terms of having the secretary, having the major structure of the subcommittee or a subgroup. I don't want to be a committee because the committee have a very bad rap. The group means that we're going to take actions and get things done. And of course, like expecting the group to be able to, at intervals, you know, come and say, hey, maybe every quarter, this is what we are really doing, and make those things tangible for diaspora to work on. You know, so that's why we are starting this in this new year, because we thought diaspora we have so much talking over the years of time, very period of time rather, over so many years. So now is to put our name on projects as diaspora, so that way we'll be able to now have a reference point so that people can especially make sure that what we're talking about is tangible. So then, of course, have a calendar of what is going to be happening, maybe of your meetings, how regular that's going to be. That's left for the coaches to be able to really determine that. And of course, Of course, the Madrid event as well is very timely, and I want the subgroup to be able to have representation in there. So that way, some of the corporate, some of the government, especially the government of Spain, this is really serious. In an earlier review of documentation of their commitment to the African Development Bank. And just to let you know as well, the Institute will be doing the side event at that summit as a way to be able to really create that synergy with the corporate and the government. So I bet we will be able to make sure that some of the members of the subgroup will be able to speak and get interface with the the different organizations at that level. So that's going to be just a brief one, and of course, you have the latitude to expand. So what needs to be done sectorally, medicine, banking, and so just across the different sector. So and see how that can drive that, and looking for a report at intervals not a very long time, maybe in 30 days or even under that. So but again, we want to be flexible to make sure that this isn't what we're really doing. We expect that to be able to come in timely, so that we will be able to, because the expectation from the community, the diaspora community, migration community, the forum, is to make sure that at least as a first group, we need to see an action, and that's the sense drive now, so that we can encourage other people not just to share things, but to make sure that they have how things are done and done correctly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, Wale, can you hear me?
Go ahead, sir.
I think it's very important, very crucial that we, with respect to terms of reference, agree on what we have. What we have right now is an opportunity to engage directly with the country of Spain. So, having said that, we need to look at all the low-hanging fruits available under this opportunity, because I hear Dr. Bellucci and her passion. I hear Madame and her passion with respect to the young children and solar-powered lamps, and the reduction of the proliferation of plastics. All of those are good. But I think that to make it actionable, we now need to focus specifically on our relationship with Spain and look at what currently exists in terms of an alignment between Nigeria and Spain, and how we bring these, our passions, under that umbrella. That's number one. Number two, I think that for every initiative that we take on, we have to carefully craft the avenue to generate sustainable resources for that initiative. Otherwise, it'll be a wild goose chase. So it is important to tie down each initiative to a sustainability pathway. There are ways that we have discussed internally that we need to agree and align on. I think one of those ways is to expand this thing beyond Nigeria into sub-Saharan Africa, so that if we are referencing our programming for sub-Saharan Africa, there's the opportunity to export whatever the gains we have had to other people in Africa and other places in Africa. So with respect to a term of reference, TOR, I would suggest that we key in to the low-hanging fruit available at the moment, which is the Nigeria-Spain partnership, expand it into sub-Saharan Africa, and find sustainable ways that yield income. And it's very easy to do, for example, because if we look at the solar lamps idea, if we are able to calculate how much emissions are tied to the alternatives to local power or light generation, the burning of wood, deforestation, and all of that. If we can quantify it and then say, by switching to solar lamps, this is how much carbon we are sequestering from being released into the environment. If we have that certified, we can get upwards of $30 per ton of carbon that we claim. And therein is enough funding to do anything we want with that particular program. I'm just using that as an example. So we need to back our passions up with a methodology that generates the income for their sustenance.
Are you done?
Yeah, thank you very much, Doc. Professor, I guess that's the co-chair opening remark. I will take that for that. So that we won't waste so much time. Which actually should come after this has been set up in terms of the inauguration done. So without much ado, I think the inauguration proper should be done right now. So that way, other things can close that part. And of course, if you want to meet as a committee, as a subgroup, you can go ahead and do that. So at this time, I will request everybody to put on their camera if it's okay, so that way we can capture that, take a picture, and we'll be able to say this committee or the subgroup has been actually inaugurated. So any member, Peter, Miss Anita, and Ms. Belucci, can you put on your camera, please, so I can take a picture, and we'll be able to inaugurate this subgroup. It's going to be just for a minute. So I'm waiting for who else now? Ms. Anita, can you put on your camera? Dr. Belucci, can you put on your camera? If Anita, just your camera for a minute so I take a picture, and we can just get this thing going. So who else now? Dr. Belucci, can you do that? Can you put on your camera right now? Yes. Okay, fantastic. Great. And who else now? Okay, you can have that. So, all right. Okay, I'm gonna smile. So I got one. Another smile. Let's get that one. Okay. All right. So smile. Okay, there you go. Okay, fantastic. So I think we got that. There you go. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So Peter, you're not on. Okay, there you go. Okay. All right. Dr. Belucci, we need to see your face.
I'm trying to adjust my own.
Oh, okay, change your number. Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay, we have that.
I don't know what I closed.
I didn't see. There you go. I didn't see Dr. Okay, I think we have.
We've been posing and posing and posing.
Sorry? Yeah, okay, yeah, so Doctor, okay. Okay, yeah, that's good. Thank you so much. So this, you have that. Good. Okay, I think we have enough right now. So, as the CEO of Diaspora Innovation Institute, so we mandate the subgroup to function as a very active part of the Institute and to create value in the area of climate change, environment, and of course, other sustainability models. So we welcome you all and we expect all of you individually as a team to be able to add value into this conversation, not only conversation, to create a project around how this should happen. Importantly, how some of the efforts, like the co-chair mentioned, will be able to have immediate impact or redirect, so to speak, some of the efforts in making sure that it becomes a sustainable project that diaspora can put a name on it. So it can be local, it can be regional, and it can be sub-regional as well. And I think, like Professor Peter mentioned, Nigeria, the Sub-Saharan Africa can be a way to be able to leverage this. And again, I didn't want to just belabor the conversation, but I thank you again for the time, for the interest, and looking forward to a very exciting time working with you all and working with the friends I've known and even new friends, and making sure that at least we have things going. Thank you so, Mr. Co-chair. I yield to you, and I think the ball is in your group now. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You're now on your own, so let's feel free. So go ahead and just do what you need to do, and you can take it from there. So, Professor, you can put away your camera. They can hear us very well. Then the ball is in your court now. You can work with your co-chair and set up the structure. Thank you. Yeah, can you please unmute yourself, Peter?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I am glad that we're all here, Dr. Bellucci, Madam, very happy. Just like Atuole has said, I think that the next thing we do now is to develop what we have just said in writing, just short paragraphs of what our passions are, what we'd like to see this thing to accomplish, so that way we can begin now to schedule how we weave this into current opportunities and future opportunities. Thank you.
I would like to mention that the current king of United Kingdom, King Charles III, happens to be very, very interested in climate change and will do anything possible to advance the cause of nature by supporting all initiatives in climate change. I will seize this opportunity to look into activities in that line and make contact as much as possible in the next couple of days or weeks to see how we can reach the gentlemen in leadership here, even if it means contacts with the Tory party or whosoever that knows or can lead us to the kingdom. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to meet him as soon as possible, but I can't rule anything out. But I can tell you that the king will be very interested in diaspora initiatives to help in climate change. It may be a bit of a task to reach him, but I will work towards that in the next couple of weeks, and I'll feed back to all of you guys. It's something doable. He will be interested in that. He has a fund, has a King's Fund, with a huge resource to support initiatives, to this particular matter generally. And that's what the United Kingdom is doing. I'll work towards that.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think of course co-chair is there, so obviously the ball is in your court, and unfortunately Tariq, who will be in this very conversation, told me about an accident a few days ago. So I'm not sure if that's why he's unable to join us today. But I think it's in that platform. I guess the conversation can start or continue rather. It started already. So to continue, getting instructor, getting your secretary, and I guess not enough capable of people to be able to do that. So thank you, Mr. Coacher. And thank you, the rest of the team. So I'm not sure if you're still going to have a continuation with this meeting, or you just want to schedule a meeting for your proper briefing. I think that would be nice because so that everybody would be informed and everybody would be available at the same time. Yeah. So I see that as a yes. If it's a yes, I guess we might conclude and just provide on him for this meeting. Since everybody is on that platform, then the co-chairs can just take it from there. I can see, oh, Remy just show up. Okay, so I'm not sure if you had, but again, I want to say a brief word before the closing remark. You can, and if there's any other thing that you want to say, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone from New York. My sincere apologies. I was in another meeting that started before this one, so I wasn't able to join for most of the program. But I do acknowledge everyone's presence for the good work that you're doing. The environmental group and all the suggestions and work that you have in the making. And I'm here anytime to support. I'm not an environmentalist, but of course, we have to keep in mind, each and every one of us, that the issue of climate change and how environmental factor affects everyone in the world affects women even more, because they're the ones, they're the ones in the communities, they're the ones taking care of pretty much everyone. So the education about environmental issues, should start from, our mothers, our sisters and daughters. I'm an avid, supporter of gender change, education of women and, the role of women on how they can improve our nations, our communities and our lives. So whether, we have a degree in environmental justice or climate change or not, I'm here to support in any capacity that you would like to engage me in. So Prince Akinwale does have my contact information. And Chief Anita, good to see you here, ma. And Dr. Bellucci.
Thank you, my darling friend and sister. Professor Remy.
Thank you.
You really have your gift with Dr. Wale.
Yes, he's in Ghana right now, making some plans.
So I'm supposed to bring your gift all the way to New York. Don't worry, you'll get it soon.
Yes, thank you, ma.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Oluremi. And just to let you know that there are men on this call as well.
Yes, of course. I was just pitching in my own advocacy agenda,
here as well, so that
of course, with the support, the role of men and boys in improving the lives of women. I'm all for that. I don't want to sideline myself and say, I'm working on environmental issues or climate change, but my area of expertise is on education and gender, gender change, women's role in improving society. And of course, in partnering together on the sustainable development goals on how we can educate women to be advocates to make a lot of these environmental change in our communities. So thank you for all the men joining us and for everyone here. And I look forward to supporting your efforts.
Thank you so much. Yes, I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming, everyone. The co-chairs, I think, this end, the ball is in your court, and you can take it from there. Thank you so much for the time. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. God
And
bless.
thank you
Best
all.
wishes for
Glad to be a part of
2023.
this. I'm looking forward to us working together.
Thank you.
Last week, that's
Yeah, I guess the recording can be ended right now.
okay. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.